Hello everyone, today I'm back in World of Guns, Gun Disassembly, and today we're taking a look at a Flintlock pistol. This is the Harper's Ferry model of 1805 pistol, and was used by the American cavalry, I guess. I just wanted to sort of take a look at a general pattern of gun in this video, a general pattern of a Flintlock style pistol, because I think they're pretty cool, and I haven't delved into one in real life, and I would sure like to know what they look like on the inside. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So this is a smoothbore, actually. I believe it is a 54 caliber or so, and these things, the pistols, muzzle-loading pistols, were obviously not as popular as rifles during this period. However, in certain situations they were used extensively, and one of those was definitely some sort of horseback fighting force, I guess. Usually like the cavalry. So during that time they would have usually a pair of pistols, and because obviously each of those pistols only holds one shot, so it helps to have at least two. And then after you would spend those, you would probably just use your saber. So after the muzzle loading type, or actually after the Flintlock type, there would be like the cap locks pistols, and after that, of course, they invented revolvers. Of course, Samuel Colt was a key part of that. But before that, this sort of design was what was being used. It is generally almost the same as a rifle, except for, of course, it's got a shorter barrel. Or actually not as a rifle, as a musket I should say, because at that time, of course, muskets were a thing. Rifle barrels were less of a thing. So you would have a shorter barrel, smoothbore, and of course, instead of a stock, like a shoulder stock, you would get this sort of curved sort of grip. Other than that, pretty much the same mechanism as a rifle, I would expect. So if you don't know how a Flintlock works of any type, I guess I can explain a bit about it. Now we've got first of all the pistol was, as I said, I already explained how it was used. You can see it doesn't have any sort of rear sights, so that sort of gives away that this type of thing was only used for close range encounters. So basically, the way this works is you've got a barrel, as you can see on the top here. That's pretty much the whole business end of the firearm, and then we've got a mechanism, an action, sort of on the side here, and somewhat inside of the wood there. So basically, we've got a hammer on the left. You can see that, and the hammer has a piece of flint rock, sort of clamped inside of it, and that's what causes the spark, which is obviously needed to light the powder. And then we've got this sort of pan on the bottom with a flash hole, and that's a little hole that goes through the side of the barrel into the actual chamber. And then we've got this prism on top, and that's sort of it serves two purposes. One of those is to shield the priming powder, which is in this pan, from the elements and to keep it from getting out. The other is to offer a surface to the hammer to strike. So basically, this large part on top is what the hammer strikes when it falls, and at the same time it opens the thing, and the spark can ignite the powder in the pan. You can see the mechanism for that is all exposed on the side. It's got this spring, and the hammer obviously is also on the side. So that's pretty much just how it works. Obviously you load just powder, and then maybe some sort of wad or something, and then ball, lead ball, obviously at that time. And that's pretty much how it goes. There is a cleaning or a ramming rod underneath the barrel, so you would use that to ram the ball down the barrel until it touches the powder. And that's pretty much it. So let's take this thing apart and see how it works. It should have some mechanism inside of the wooden stock, I guess, as well, because obviously we've got a trigger. So let's see how we can take it apart. There is a plate on the left side that we can unscrew by looks. Interesting. Okay, comes off, and then the whole action comes off the side. Interesting. Apparently that's the whole field strip. Interesting. Okay, you can see basically the wood sort of offers support to this mechanism as well. So it's not just there to hold. It actually serves a purpose in this firearm. There is a hole in there for the trigger, but it looks like we're gonna have to take a look at that in the more detailed field strip. And this part on the side is just like a plate. I believe it's called a lock plate. I'm not sure though. I'm not really very keen on the terms for muzzle loaders. But you can look that up if you're interested. You can see there is the mechanism for the hammer as well. Basically the trigger mechanism minus the trigger. So it's got a spring there, and it's just connected to the inside with some screws. Quite nice. Okay, so let's put this back together. As you can probably see, this is a very simple firearm, as they were at the time. Alright, put this nicely back together. Right, and now we'll check how it works, I guess. So let's go into operation mode, and we'll fire a couple of shots. Let's do it. Alright, so we can see the hammer is cocked, and if we just press the trigger, bam, goes off. Okay, and then we have to reload it. So let's see how that works in game. Okay, so recock the hammer, put the powder down and the ball, priming powder, close the prism, and cock the hammer. That was really fast. Obviously, I mean, if you're I don't know, even if you were incredibly skilled, I'm not sure if you could pull off that kind of speed in real life. But you could probably get pretty close with practice. It's not terribly incredibly slow. With practice you can, I don't know, get like maybe 5 shots, maybe more than 5 shots a minute, who knows. Right, so let's shoot this one. Nice, goes off with a nice bang. Obviously this thing is 51 caliber. It's quite a big boomer. Pretty nice. Let's shoot another one. Bam. Nice. Okay. Alright. Let's go into X-ray and see what's on the inside. We sort of looked at that before. You can see the trigger mechanism here with the springs and all. We've got the hammer and the striking surface there. And we've got the barrel. You can see the barrel just ends. And it's got a sort of integral connection to the stock here. Interesting. Okay. And that's it, right? So let's go into slow motion, fire it. And that's gonna be quite interesting because this thing has a significant delay when you fire it. So basically, a delay between when the hammer falls and when the main powder charge in the barrel ignites, because obviously the spark has to travel, the flame has to travel through this priming powder on the side into the chamber, so that takes a little bit of time. Alright, so let's go into slow motion and fire this thing. Let's go into like 50. Alright, let's fire it. Okay, so the hammer's gonna fall first of all, and then it's gonna strike there, make some sparks, ignite that powder, and then the whole main charge ignites as well. And there you go. That is how a flintlock pistol actually works. Pretty cool stuff. Alright. I think we've done all of the operations with this pistol, so let's take it apart in more detail. So let's first of all do the field strip. That's some screws. Obviously you're not going to be field stripping this type of firearm much, because, well, there's not, other than the barrel, there's not really much to clean, since it's a muzzle loader. So it's not really a problem that the side plate attaches with some screws. Okay, so where should we continue? It looks like we can take out this screw, and looks like we've got some screws on the bottom. This is the trigger guard. Interesting. Right, and then the trigger just comes off. It has a couple of pins, or just one pin. It's just one piece. Interesting. It's got this sort of shroud around it. That's very cool. Okay, what else? We've got this sort of brass bottom. It's just sort of to make it look nicer, and to sort of round off the end of the grip there. What else do we have? We have the ramrod. That is also consisted of a couple of parts. There's the front bit here. Alright, and this is just like a wooden stick, so nothing really special there. What else can we do here? We could probably work on the action as well. Take that apart if I can. Alright, so there's a pin here, or a screw here for the frizzen. Okay. And then we've got the hammer screw, hammer bolt. The hammer comes off. This is the attachment screw for our flint. That comes out. Nice. What else? We've got a couple of more screws. These are holding in the actual mechanism for the hammer. Sear spring. Sear. Okay. And then we've got another screw here Just gonna detach that spring over there, and this is just oh, we've got this thing on the outside, and what's left is just a plate. And then we can probably take off the barrel, so we have this thing, the wedge. This thing actually helps hold the barrel in place, and then we can just lift this off nicely. You can see the barrel does not have very many complex components. There is a ramrod holder on the bottom, and then we've got this sort of hole for the wedge there, and the tang on the back for the screw. And apparently the breech also comes off. Interesting. I guess if you had a stuck ball, if you dry balled by accident, you would be able to just unscrew that and fix the problem. But that is generally not the case with muzzle loaders, at least I'm not aware of it. Usually you have to sort of ram or cram a bit of powder through the flash hole or something, and then sort of slowly move that ball down the barrel until it comes out. Alright, so anyway, we've got some stuff on the stock, on the grip as well. So we've got this these things on the side. Interesting. We have the rear thimble. I'm not sure why it's called that, but it's just like a holder for the ramrod. And then we've got the band on the front there, and that is one completely disassembled pistol, muzzle loading flintlock pistol. Right, so let's put it back together. Okay, where should we start? Let's put this band on first of all. I'm not sure why. I think you would probably... Oh, it's probably for reinforcement, because the wood is kind of thin on the front there, so it's probably just for reinforcement. We've got this thing that goes in the bottom, and then the barrel, the breech go together in the stock. We can attach the barrel with the wedge, but first of all we have to put in these side bits. Okay, then we've got edge. After that we can let's see, put the trigger together, of course. Let's put the hammer mechanism together first of all. That's probably the most complicated part of the whole pistol. Oh, actually, I would say it definitely is the most complicated part. There's a bunch of screws here. There's this bit. And that bit. Alright. Screw those down. Then we can attach our hammer, probably. Yeah, it needs the flint, obviously, and also it's gonna need this attaching thing, top jaw, as it's called, jaw. I guess it would be called the jaw, since it just holds the flint. Alright, we've got some screws here. That's the hammer one, and then we've got this one here for precision. We've got this one on the bottom. Alright, and then we can put on this brass bottom with a screw. Nice. After that, we can put on the lock plate on the actual pistol. We've got the trigger here that we can reassemble and reinsert into the bottom. We've got a trigger guard there. Alright, and then this thing, the side plate, has some screws. Okay, and then we've got our Ramrod with the ramming bit and the other bit, and we can put that under the barrel, and we should be fine. Oh yeah, we've got this screw left. Alright, that's pretty cool. So anyway, I think that's probably enough for the Harper's Ferry. Let's just go into operation and end this video nicely. So this is a pretty cool pistol. Very simple, but that's just the way firearms were at the time. You would just have, if you were to use them in combat, you would have an army as large as possible, and just fire in ranks, and you would sort of brute force your way through the enemy if possible. And these things obviously used on horseback extensively, so pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to do this video just like a nice sort of look at this sort of mechanism of firearms. I guess in the future maybe we'll do a video on a muzzle loading rifle of some kind. Maybe we'll do, not sure if this game has it, but maybe we'll do like a, I don't know, a cap lock or something. I guess we'll see. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, you can press the like button and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my other videos, and I will see you next time.